And over the past couple of days, I have been on my podcast talking about the very vast area known as outer space and that bleak infinite void that we long to escape to, because that is the source of all inspiration and wonder. Apparently, it's not here in the earth. And if anything about the inspiration and wonder of the science that describes for us this vast infinite void of outer space, if we dissent from that or question it in any way, then we are somehow compromising the hopes and wonders and inspiration that exist out there. I mean, our greatest capacity as humans is to, eventually create a false god with AI, upload our consciousness to the cloud so that we can eventually live forever in hopes that we can escape this strange cage we find ourselves in, drift through the vastness of that void, and maybe reach some other planet, 3 or 400 million miles away, where things will eventually be better. This is what we are told within this total inversion we experience within the false reality. This is what we are told represents our hopes and our wonder and our inspiration. And I'm really awfully confused about that, because they're describing the earth as some kind of weird cage, like we just live in this, flat bottomed terrarium or something. And I was certain that the people who believe all that other stuff aren't into that idea, but strangely, they think we're just as stuck and have to get out. So all of that is very strange. I don't understand why people aren't more interested in all the hopes and the wonder and the inspiration that we actually have here around us, because we don't actually have to reach Mars and move there someday to realize, oh shit, there's a whole lot going on in the sky, Like, why aren't we more concerned about that? Why aren't we more concerned about what's going on underground or even in Antarctica? Nope. Got to figure out how that Mars rover is doing when it sends us pictures back so we can clap like seals for the science. What are we doing?
It's I've been enjoying your science rants on True Social and obviously the podcast. But the reason that we're not concerned about that other stuff you mentioned, Chris, is because the science is a tricky thing. First of all, you can't understand it. You're just a regular person.
Yeah.
But for the people who do understand that, I don't understand it. From what I understand of my lack of understanding is that the science is settled for the things that you have questions about.
Yes.
But for the things that scientists are interested in exploring and guiding us into the exploration of, the science is not settled.
Correct.
So that's basically the framework. You can stop asking questions about it. The science is settled. If you've got a question, the science is settled. If you're ready to consume next science, the science is not settled until they settle it. So it's very similar, shockingly so, as you and I talk about storytelling quite a bit. It's very similar to the structure of storytelling. Turns out that when you write down the next chapter in the story, the story is settled. Chapter 10 is settled. Now you write chapter 11 and you progress forward in a story. That's what we've been sold and told the nature of not just science is, that it's a linear progression of knowledge, it's anything but.
Always.
Or truth, yep. It's true until the next truth that undoes that truth. It's the most true thing. And same thing with history. History is maybe even a more obvious example of this. Well, we didn't know that about the history. We taught this history as the truth for the last 200 years until we found this other story that completely contradicts that story that we were telling all of you, or until we write the next story.
The Badlands. What are the Badlands? Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.